Okay, so today we are going to be looking at how to write a book's dedication, acknowledgement, and foreword. So three things: dedication, acknowledgement, and foreword. I'm going to lay emphasis on dedication and acknowledgement. Foreword, I will only tell you how it is done because you are not the one who is going to write a foreword for your book. Somebody else does the writing of foreword. So I won't teach you how to do that. I will only tell you whether you need a foreword or you don't need a foreword. Okay, so let's start with, let me see, I'm going to go on full screen. Going on full screen so I can start. So I intend for the lecture to be a brief one because dedication and acknowledgement is something very simple. So there is not much to talk about. Okay, so what is a book's dedication? When you pick a book, right? When you open the first page of the book, you see the title of the book. And then the next thing you see what we call a copyright page, which I will teach later how to do that. And then after the copyright page, we expect to see like a dedication, okay? So what is the book dedication? A dedication is a way for authors to bestow a high honor on a person or a small group of people that they want to praise or otherwise spotlight. So this was the definition given by Tucker Marx. So a dedication is simply, telling somebody or honoring somebody. Is a kind of appreciation, okay? Now, most time people mix dedication and acknowledgement. So we need to differentiate the both of them, okay? So for a dedication, you want to give honor to somebody or to a group of people. You want to praise them, right? You want to spotlight them in your book. Now, it's just like you play football and then you won a gold. You won a gold medal. And then you say, I dedicate this gold medal maybe to my coach or to my father. I dedicate this gold medal to all my team members. So that is the same thing happens with a book. So a book dedication, you are giving honor. You are kind of, giving honor to someone. Maybe they played a role in your life, right? They did something in your life that helped you to get that gold medal. Or you got a golden boot in football, or you got a bachelor's degree. So you want to dedicate the bachelor's degree to your father who spent so much money, to send you to school. So the same thing happens with a book. So a book dedication is just a way to place honor on somebody. It could be one person, it could be a group of people, okay? At the same time, a book dedication could also be a way to spotlight a particular person or a particular group of people. Now, I'm going to show you an example. So who writes the dedication? Who will write the dedication for your book? Are you going to be the one to write the dedication or, sorry, someone dropped a comment. Let me see. Did you write a comment there? Let me go to the chat. Let me see. Small thumbnail. Okay, I can't see the chat now. I'll check it later. So who writes the dedication and where should the dedication be? Now, the dedication should be written only by the author, only by the author. That means it can't be written by a freelance writer, editor, or a mentor. Now, it doesn't matter how good your editor is. He is not the one to write a dedication for you. You should write the dedication and then send it to your editor to read and maybe correct mistakes. But you should be the one to construct it from your head, who you want to dedicate your book to. Now, you might have mentors, right, who help you do everything. But when it's time to write your dedication, you have to write it yourself. You cannot pay a freelance writer to write it for you. You cannot pay an editor to do it for you, or your mentor cannot do it for you. Why? Because only you know how somebody has affected your life. Only you know who exactly you want to dedicate the book to. So you cannot give it to somebody to write for you. You know how much your father has been a blessing to you, how much your father has, invested in you, or how much your team members mean to you. So you are the only person who can decide how to write the dedication of your book. Then where do we put the dedication? The dedication should be written, at the beginning of the book, after the title page. Like I said before, when you open a book, right, after the title of the book, the next thing you see is a copyright page. And then after the copyright page, you should see a dedication. So here I have a book with me, this book. So this is what I'm talking about, if you can see it. Now, this is the first page of the book. This one, it has the title of the book, first page. Then the second page is the copyright page with ISBN number, okay? And then the next page you see is the dedication, you see it. So the dedication is written at the beginning of the book after the title page. Okay. I hope your voice sounds cut off, Raul. Okay. My voice sounds cut off. Is it better now? Raul?
Yeah, teacher, right now it's better, but I didn't hear like the first part because
Okay. I think it's a connection problem. So I'm going to go through what I said again. I'm going to repeat what I said. Yeah. So I'm going to share the
okay.
screen again and repeat what I said. So I said that a dedication should be written only by the author, not somebody else. You cannot give it to somebody else to write for you. Only you can write the dedication. Why? Because you are the only one who knows what maybe your father did for you, or what your mother did for you, or what your mentor did for you. So whoever you are dedicating the book to, you are the only person who knows exactly, how that person has affected your life. Okay, so it means you cannot ask somebody else to write your dedication for you. Your editor cannot write it for you. A freelance writer cannot write it for you. Your mentor cannot write it for you. You have to write it yourself, because we said that a dedication is like giving honor to somebody, right? Just the way a football who won a golden boot will dedicate that boot to his coach, or dedicate the boot to his father, or to his colleagues, his team players, right? So you alone should write your dedication. After writing a dedication, you can give it to a freelance writer just to correct the English, right? That's it. But you should be the one to write it yourself. And I said it should be written at the beginning of the book, after the title page and the copyright page. The next page should be the dedication. Is it clear? Did you hear me this time around? Yeah, Raul, ask your question. Yeah.
Yeah, teacher, it's clear, I think, but I have a doubt. Is it necessary to include a dedication page or, yeah, a dedication page?
Yeah, so it is not a must, right? It is not obligatory, it's not compulsory, but it might be necessary, because if you are writing the book, maybe there are some people who, now let me tell you why it is necessary to have a dedication. It is not a must, right? It's not a must. It's not a must that you do it, but it is good to do it. Maybe you're writing a book. This book is written, for example, to women. Okay, the book is written to women. I'm a woman, I'm a human. So you can dedicate the book to all women. So I want to dedicate this book to every woman, or you are writing a book about domestic violence. So you can write a book and say, I dedicate this book to all women who are suffering domestic violence. Or you want to write a book about poor people, right? People who are struggling, they don't have money. You can say, I dedicate this book to everybody who is struggling to survive or something like that. So just like that, you can dedicate this book to them. Or if this book was a story of your life, how your parents helped you to go to the university to get a degree, then by the time you graduate from school and you want to write a book, you could dedicate the book to your father, for example, because he was the one who spent all his money to send you to school. Or you could dedicate this book to your mother for all the care and support that she gave you while you were in school, right? So you can do that. But it is not a must that you do it. But it's something I will recommend for you to do. Did I answer your question?
Okay, teacher, just one thing. I think that I got lost where you were in the part where you were explaining about why do we have to to include
The dedication.
this part, because you cut it off. You cut off, your voice cut off again.
Okay, so you need to have a dedication because there are some people, right, that have influenced your life positively. Okay, you could dedicate the book to them, or you could dedicate the book to the people you are writing about in the book. This book is written about women, for women. Okay, so you can dedicate this book to all women, or dedicate this book to all women that are suffering domestic violence. Or you can dedicate any book, your book, depending on what you wrote on the book. So I think that you should have it, but it is not a must. There is no rule that says you must have a dedication. It is not a must, but I think it is something important to have in your book. Maybe
Okay.
you heard me this time around, yes?
Yeah, I understand it, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, good. Welcome. So the question is, to whom should a book be dedicated? Who can you dedicate your book to? Remember, we said the dedication is that giving honor to somebody or a group of people. So you can dedicate your book to a family member, maybe to your father or to your mother. You can dedicate a book to your family members. You can also dedicate your book to close friends. Okay, so I want to dedicate this book to all my friends who probably influenced my life in one way or the other. Then you can dedicate the book to the people for whom you wrote the book. For example, I said this book was written for women. So you can dedicate this book to all women. If you write a book for men, you can dedicate it to men. If you write a book for people who are struggling financially and want to become successful, you can dedicate the book to everybody who is struggling financially because you wrote the book about them. Okay? And you can also dedicate the book to anybody who will read the book. So you dedicate the book to the readers. And then you can also dedicate the book to people who inspired you to write the book. So maybe you wrote a book about how to raise a girl child, and you have a daughter, you have a girl child, and that girl child inspired you to write this book. You could dedicate the book to your daughter also, or anybody that you honor. You could dedicate the book to them. You can honor your father, you can dedicate the book to your father, and some people dedicate the book to God. Yeah, they say they will dedicate this book to God. Well, I think that God will not read the book. Yeah, it's people on earth that will read the book. So I think it's better to dedicate the book to somebody that is on earth with us. Okay. Yeah. So next thing, how do you write a dedication? Your dedication should be brief, very brief. You don't need to use a whole page, for example, to write it. You could just write a few lines. A dedication could even be just one sentence, right? But your dedication um, has to be specific. So if you say, I dedicate this book to all my friends, for example, why did you dedicate this book to all your friends? So you should say, I dedicate this book to all my friends because of for doing this or doing that. You must put the reason why you are dedicating this book to your friends. So make it brief, but it should be specific, right? Don't just say, I dedicate this book to my daughter. Why? Why are you dedicating it to your daughter? For what reason? You have to state the reason why you chose to dedicate it to your daughter. Then choose the person or group. So before you start writing, make up your mind. Who do I want to dedicate this book to? Or which group of people do I want to dedicate the book to? And then remember also that everyone will see the dedication, because when they open the book, the first thing they will see after the title page is the dedication. So everybody will see it, but only the receiver will remember it. If I read a book and the dedication was not written to me, I will not remember that dedication, right? But if the dedication was written to you, it gives you some kind of, make you feel important, that somebody, an author, recognized you in his book and dedicated his book to you. So you will remember it. The only person that remembers the dedication most times is the receiver, the person to whom the dedication was written. But every other person doesn't remember it, okay? Then to know how to write a dedication, check examples of other people, other authors that have written a dedication, and use that as an example to write your own also. So now let's go to acknowledgement. So we're done with dedication. Dedication, you are just honoring one person or a group of people, okay? But for acknowledgement, you are saying thank you. So acknowledgement is a way of recognizing everyone who helped you in the book writing process. Remember what we said before? For dedication, these people didn't help you in the book writing process, but maybe they inspired you. For example, if you wrote a book for women, you are inspired by women, okay? They inspired you, but they didn't help you in the process of writing the book. So you dedicate the book to them. But the people that helped you to write the book, like maybe your editor, right? The maybe the publisher of the book, the person that designed the book cover, they helped you in the process of the book. Or they help you in the process of getting information to write the book. So you acknowledge them. So it is a way of recognizing everyone who helped you in the book writing process. It is your way of saying thank you to them for contributing to your book's success. So they contributed to your book's success, and then you tell them thank you. That's an acknowledgement. Again, it is not a must. There is no rule that says you must write an acknowledgement in your book. It's not a rule. Okay, so you could decide to write it, you could leave it out, right? So you can acknowledge family members again. You can acknowledge editors or people who worked on the book production. You can acknowledge publishers, co-workers or assistants. You can acknowledge the agents that help you, maybe link you to publishers. Or if you have a manager, you could acknowledge a manager. When I say manager, I mean somebody who manages your book writing, okay? Then people who contributed to the book or people who gave you advice while you were writing the book. Maybe if your book had to do with statistics, right? And you went to do you created some questionnaire and people help you get information, you can acknowledge them also. Those people acknowledge them in the book. Then you can acknowledge your teachers, your mentors, or your bosses, right? And then people who inspired you also to write the book, you can acknowledge them in the book. So basically, that is what an acknowledgement is. Now, I'm going to show you an example a dedication, maybe an acknowledgement, so that you know how to write yours. Let me share. I'm going to go to Amazon. I'm going to go to Amazon and share one dedication with you. Let me see if I can open this and share my screen. Share screen. Okay, Amazon. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, good. This is still
Yes.
okay, good. This is loading. I don't know why it's taking a long time to load.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, but this is showing forward. This is not, it's not forward I want to show you. I want to show you, okay, let me show you forward. I didn't talk about forward, right? But today we're supposed to do dedication, acknowledgement, and forward. So what is the forward of a book? Look at this, pay attention to the spelling. It is forward. It is not F-O-R-A, it's not F-O-R-W-A-D. It is not to forward a message or something. No, this is forward. So forward is what comes, a word that comes before the book. So for means before, okay? Then forward, a word that comes before the book, before the main content of the book. Now, a forward is just like a testimony, right, of your book. Somebody testifying about your book, somebody validating your book. So a forward is somebody validating your book, telling other people that this book is good. Now, you are the author. You are the author of the book. Remember, I said you are not the one to write the foreword. The foreword is written by somebody else, telling people to read your book, that your book is good, that your book is, you know, it's going to be a blessing to them, that they will learn so much from your book. So that is a foreword. So if I ask, for example, my mentor to write a foreword for me, my mentor is simply going to write maybe in 1 page or 2 pages, telling the readers that this book is the best book for them. Now, you don't need a foreword in all your books. Most times, a foreword is written only to introduce a new author. So if you are a new author, you haven't written a book before, this is your first book, you need somebody who has been authoring books, or somebody who is very popular, somebody who is known, famous, right? Or somebody who has written a book similar to your book, but the person is highly successful. So the person is introducing you to the world. That is the foreword. So a foreword is a testimony or a validation of your book by somebody who is popular, who is successful, somebody famous, or somebody who has written a book concerning the same subject that you're going to write about. That is the foreword. So it means that you are not the one to write your foreword. Who can write a foreword for you? Your mentors can write a foreword for you. So if you have a mentor, your mentor can write a foreword for you. Maybe you have, you know somebody who is very popular. Let's assume that the governor of your state, or the prime minister of your country, you know him. He can write a foreword for your book. Why? Because he's a popular person. When people see at the beginning of the book that he wrote a foreword for you, they are thinking, if this prime minister can write a foreword for this book, that means this book is a very good book. So they want to go buy the book because of the foreword. Now, I have a book here, this book I showed you before. If you look down here, it is written foreword by Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Now, my wife wrote the book, but Dr. Sunday Adelaja wrote the foreword. Why? because Sunday Adelaja is our mentor. He's a very popular person. He has written more than 500 books. So he wrote a foreword. So when somebody picks this book, they don't know my wife really, because this is the first book my wife is writing. She's a new author. So Sunday Adelaja had to introduce my wife to the public to tell them that this person called Topsy Gift, she's a good author. This book she wrote is very good. So that is the essence of a foreword. Okay? Yeah, so, and if you want somebody to write a foreword for you, one minute, Raul. If you want somebody to write a foreword for you, you should send them, you have to send the manuscript of your book to them to read the book, to know what is in the book. And you have to do that at least a month or 2 months before you want to publish the book. Because your mentors or whoever you want to write a foreword for you might be a very busy person. If you want to publish your book next week and you send them the manuscript today that they should write a foreword for you, they might not be able to do it because they need time to read the entire manuscript so that they could write it forward. So it is best to give your mentor or your referee your manuscripts at least a month before the day you plan to publish the book, so that they have time to read it and write the foreword. So when they finish writing the foreword, they send it to you on email, and then you copy the foreword and put in your Word document before you go and print the book or publish the book. So Raul, ask your question.
Teacher, sorry for interrupt. Was the same question that, well, not the same question, the same thing that you have explained already.
Okay.
Yeah. How can I like look for someone who wants to read my foreword?
Yeah, so you can use anybody, but make sure it is somebody that is superior to you in terms of maybe knowledge or is more famous or has written a book similar to this book before, or your
I have a question, or not a question, but I just want to say something. Because I was of the opinion that why should we have to go and be looking for someone who is famous? If I don't know anyone who is famous, so I shouldn't write a book. But from your explanation now, I understood, because that means they don't know you, but if they know that person, that will encourage them to buy the book.
To buy the book, yes.
So, because I've been having problems. I said, where am I going to get? I don't know anyone. But from your explanation, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, good. For example, when I was publicizing my book, my first book, I copied the foreword that Dr. Sunday wrote for me also. And I used it to advertise on Facebook. I said, see what Dr. Sunday wrote concerning my book. So everybody will say, oh, Dr. Sunday read your book and he recommended your book. So because of that, people want to go and buy the book. So there are some people who don't know me, but when they go on Amazon and they see a book and they see that the book was forwarded by Sunday Adelaja, but they know him, they want to buy the book. They said, if this man can recommend, because actually a forward is a recommendation. It's like your mentor recommending your book to the public or recommending you to the public, telling the public that this person is a good author. The content of this book is very good. So that is what a forward is. So imagine, for example, if Barack Obama write a forward for your book. When people go on Amazon and they see a book forward by Barack Obama, they want to buy it because Barack Obama was a former US president. He's popular, he's loved by a lot of people, so that is it. But remember that to write a forward again is not obligatory, it's not compulsory, it's just something that you may want to do to give credence and to give validation, to validate your book, to make people know that somebody who is popular read your book and recommends the book. So just to give some kind of value to your book, but it's not a must that you have a forward. There was one of my clients that wrote a book, and then she sent the manuscript to somebody to write it forward. But the person was taking too much time, to read or send the forward. But he wanted to publish the book. What did we do? He had to forget about the forward, and we published the book like that, because maybe he was planning that, okay, I want to release this book on my birthday. But the birthday is getting closer, and the person that was supposed to write the forward had not sent the forward. So he had to go ahead and, publish the book. But it doesn't make any difference, the book will still sell if the content is good. Just that getting it forward is an extra advantage, to make people believe in your book and think that your book is good. Yeah, so that is why you need a forward. Other than that, it is not a must. Now let's look at this forward, for example. Now this forward was written by Sunday Adelaja for my wife's book. Sunday Adelaja said, "Topsy Gift, you have done it again. Wow, 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 what a book. This book is revolutionary." You see, he's advertising the book, right? It is a genius book, and only a genius can write this. Every woman would be proud of this book. Actually, this book is meant to be a handbook in the hand of every woman in this world. So you see, he's helping the author of the book to publicize the book, to tell other women that, man, this book is revolutionary. So that is what a mentor does for you, or your referee, or somebody, right? And then he said, "I have written a book for women, which is very similar in title to this book by Topsy Gift. The book is called Hooray, I Am Woman, but I wrote it as a man." So you see, he had written a similar book to this book. So he's the best person to, apart from the fact that he's a mentor, but because he has written a book similar to this one, he's the best person to write a foreword for it. He said, "But this book here, I would not be afraid to say it is the most holistic, most thoughtful book that I have ever read. This book is genius. This book is incredible and unbelievable. The style is wonderful." Sorry. "The style is wonderful." Where am I now? This is introduction. Okay. "And the thoughtfulness that is put into it. Okay, the consideration, the answers to women's questions, the self-worth, the dignity, the respect." So he's just, praising the book, telling people about the book. Okay. And then at the end, he said, "I'm really touched by this book. Thank you for writing it. Keep on being so beautiful, so wonderful, so gifted, and so exceptional. Congratulations for the book. Good job." And then he put his name, Dr. Sunday Adelaja. So anybody who reads this, you say, "Oh, Dr. Sunday Adelaja said this about your book, then we must read this book." You get? So that is the essence of a foreword. Now let me show you dedication. I wanted to show you dedication. So for dedication, this is how you write a dedication. So this is dedication. Now this dedication, I said you will write it by yourself because you are the author. You are the one that knows the people that have affected your life, yeah, or the people you want to honor in this book. So let's read this dedication. "To my beloved mother, I will not forget all that you taught me. You made me the strong and powerful woman I am today." You see, she's recognizing her mother, giving honor to her mother. And then after that, she now said, "To women of every race, creed, culture, and nation, in your struggle to understand who a woman truly is." You see, she's recognizing all women because this book is for women. And then she went further to say, "To a new generation of women who will no longer be deprived of their rights or contributions to the growth and development of societies and humanity at large. So a rising empire of women who are about to take over the world." You see, so she dedicated the book to her mother and then to all women. Yeah, you can do that. You can dedicate your book like that also. Okay, let me show you maybe an example of acknowledgement. Let me see if I can find an example of acknowledgement from another book. Share screen. I'll show you how to write acknowledgement. So for acknowledgement, you are just thanking, everybody. that contributed to the writing of the book, or people that have affected you in one way or the other. So let me show you this acknowledgement. So this book, this is my book, my second book, and this is my acknowledgement. Acknowledgements. So who did I acknowledge first? I acknowledged my wife. So I said, to my wife, God gifts, who sacrificed her love to allow my dreams and destiny come first. You are simply amazing. Actually, in the book, I wrote how she sacrificed her love for me to pursue my medical career. Okay, I wrote it within the book. That's what the book is titled. The book is titled Dreams Don't Die, People Give Up on Them. So I told the story of how I wanted to come to Ukraine and I had to separate from my fiancé. Then we were not married, yeah? I had to separate from my fiancé. She allowed me to come to Ukraine to study. We had to suspend our wedding, in Nigeria. Then I came here to study. So that part was very important for me. So I said to my wife, who sacrificed her love to allow my dreams and destiny come first, you are simply amazing. Thanks for proving to me that true love is real. And then again, I went to my parents, Mr. and Mrs. Godwin and Esther. I appreciate you for being there to support and sponsor me through my journey, to actualizing my dreams. You are the true examples of caring and loving parents. So why am I acknowledging my parents? Because they sponsored my education. Because that book I wrote was about my career, my medical career journey, how I came to medical school after studying in Nigeria. I came to Ukraine. So they sponsored me. I had to acknowledge them. And then to my siblings, I appreciate you. So wife, parents, my siblings, okay? And then to my friends. Now, this particular friend, to my friend and colleague, Tain Okia, you are the destiny helper who came to inspire me to pursue my dream again after I had abandoned it. My sincere appreciation goes to you. Now, why did I include this lady, this Tain Okia, in this acknowledgement? She was my classmate in Nigeria, in my university. So we graduated together. We wanted to study medicine, but we couldn't get medicine. So we both studied human anatomy. So we got a bachelor's degree in human anatomy. And then after that, I started teaching in a private school, right? And then I was looking for a job, a real job, because I thought that maybe teaching was not a good job. So I was looking for a real job. And then I forgot about medicine. I didn't want to go back to medical school because I had tried all the possible avenues and I still couldn't get admission to study medicine. It was this lady, after 3 years after graduation, she sent me a message and she told me that one university in Nigeria, the new university, that they are admitting people for medicine, that she thinks we should try it, we should apply to study. And then I said, okay, I've already forgotten about that medical career because I've tried close to 10 times. I couldn't get admission to study medicine. So let me just give it a try. And then I went to my father to tell my dad that, okay, I want to go back to medicine. My friend told me that one university is admitting people, right? And then my father said, okay, you have tried in Nigeria, close to 10 times, you couldn't get admission. Why do you want to try again in Nigeria? Why not try somewhere else abroad? And that was how I found myself in Ukraine, But if not for this lady, I probably would not have pursued my medical dream again because I gave up already. So that is why I had to acknowledge her in this book, because this book is talking about my medical journey, how I came from Nigeria to Ukraine to study and all of that. So that is why I put her in the acknowledgement. So I'm explaining this so that when you want to acknowledge somebody, not just anybody, right? You're acknowledging people that in some way helped you to, to write the book. Maybe not help you in the process of writing, but it inspired you, to write that story or whatever you are writing in the book. And then to my mentors, teachers, and everyone who has played one role or the other in my life, I appreciate you all. So that is it. Acknowledgement. Very simple. To my wife, to my parents, to my siblings, and to that friend that inspired me, and then to my mentors. Now, if I gave my book to someone to edit for me, maybe I finished writing and I gave it to an editor, I can acknowledge the editor here also. I can acknowledge the person who designed the book cover for me, you know. Yeah, so you can acknowledge anybody who helped you in the process of writing the book. That is acknowledgement and dedication. So any question based on these ones? Mrs. Choma, you're welcome. Hope you can hear me, right? Okay, so is there any question on acknowledgement? Raul, yes.
Just one, teacher. The acknowledgements are the same than
Dedication?
the dedications, yeah?
No, they're different. Now, for acknowledgement, you are acknowledging the people that helped you in the process of writing the book, or the people that inspired you to write the book. You are telling them thank you. Okay. So acknowledgement is saying thank you for helping me write the book, or thank you for sponsoring my education, because this book is about my education. If this book was not about my education, for example, I would not have included this lady in this acknowledgement. I perhaps would not have, included my mentors and teachers in this book, right? I would only just include the people who helped me directly in the process of writing the book. But most times, people just acknowledge their family members because they are confused. What if I acknowledge my father and I did not acknowledge my mother or my siblings? What if I did not acknowledge my boyfriend or my girlfriend, or my wife? So because of that, we try to put a lot of people in the acknowledgement, right? Just so that people will feel satisfied or feel happy that their names appeared in your book. But for dedication, but for dedication, you are dedicating the book to somebody you honor. The person may not even help you in the process of writing the book, right? Or you dedicate the book to the people that the book you wrote the book about. So this book I wrote about women. So you saw my wife dedicated this book to women and to her mother, because her mother is a woman also, and her mother played a role to raise her. She dedicated to her mother, and she dedicated to all women, because the book is about women. Yeah, so.
Okay, teacher. Yeah, sorry. It's just I'm trying to.
Yeah, they look alike. Both of them look alike. Dedication and acknowledgement. Dedication is not thank you. Dedication is not thank you, but acknowledgement is you are saying thank you. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see let me check my own dedication. So look.
Dedications are more related with who encouraged you to write a book.
Not who. Yeah. Okay. Who encouraged you? Who inspired you to write the book? Or
who inspired you? Yeah.
Who inspired you? Or who is the book meant for? Who did I write the book for? Let me give you an example. Look at my own dedication. This book is titled Dreams Don't Die. People give up on them, right? So this book is dedicated to everyone who has a dream and who is willing to pursue that dream till it is fulfilled. Now, this everyone here, they didn't help me. They didn't help me write the book. They didn't edit the book. They didn't, and I'm not telling them thank you. This is not thank you. I'm only dedicating the book to them, right? But I'm not telling them thank you. I'm just trying to honor them and say this book, or recognize them and say this book is dedicated to everyone who has a dream and who is willing to pursue that dream till it is fulfilled. This book is dedicated to everyone who will never give up on his or her dream. I don't know this everyone or this anyone. I don't know them. And I'm not telling them thank you. I'm only dedicating the book to them because the book is about dreams and how people should not give up on their dreams. That is why the book, I'm dedicating it to them. Then this book is dedicated to you who have gotten this book. So you are the one, you are the reader, you who the person reading the book now. I dedicate it to you. And then this book is dedicated to all those who are about giving up on their dreams. I pray this book will be a turning point for you. Then this book is dedicated to those who are ready to dream big, achieve those dreams, and dream again. So here, I'm not telling them thank you, right? But here, in acknowledgement, I'm telling them thank you. You get? So this is thank you. Acknowledgement is thank you. Thanking them for what they have done for you. You know, how they helped you to write the book or how they inspired you to write the book, right? But here, you are just recognizing them, but not saying thank you to them. That is the difference between dedication and acknowledgement. Dedication, you just want to honor or recognize somebody, okay? One person or a group of people, or the people that you wrote the book for, or the people that inspired you to write the book. But it is not thank you are saying to them. You are just recognizing or honoring them. But for acknowledgement, you are telling them thank you. These people, you are telling them thank you for the contribution they made to that book.
Okay, I already understand it.
Yeah,
Thank you, teacher.
yeah, they look alike. But sometimes, remember that sometimes your dedication can just be only one line. For example, this dedication, I can say, this book is dedicated to my son, my first son, right? I can just dedicate this book to my son, and I hope that you will grow up to fulfill all your dreams. Simple. So I'm dedicating the book to my son, right? So you can dedicate the book to just one person in a short, just one sentence. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. No, you get. You can make it simple. Or I want to dedicate this book to everybody who. Now your book is talking about 365 ways to see the world, right? You can say I dedicate this book to everyone who wants to live a unique life, or who wants to live life according to their own terms. I dedicate this book to everyone who is struggling to fit into, you know, the world system, or who, so just anything, you can dedicate it to anybody, the people you are writing about in the book. Like I said, it's just like you went to play football and you won a gold medal. So you can dedicate this gold medal to anybody, to your coach, to your daughter, to your sister, anybody at all. Okay. So is it clear? What you will do, yeah, what you will do when you're about to write your dedication on acknowledgement, just go on YouTube or check some books, see what other people have written, you know, and then it will help you to write your own also. Okay, good. So that is dedication, acknowledgement, and foreword we have discussed today. There is something I wanted to teach also today, but I think maybe I would leave it to next class. Well, because we have like maybe 3 or 4 persons not in this class today. Anyway, I think they will watch the video. I can do it I can teach it in 15 minutes. Yeah, I think I can teach it in 15 minutes. Let me do it. So now that's what I want to teach. Very important. I want to teach about facts and opinion, because if you are a writer, you must know the difference between facts and opinions. I decided to teach this today because I was reading Mrs. Choma's book. She sent her book on the Google Classroom, and she did a beautiful job. Beautiful job. I think the part I've read is beautiful. It started with a beautiful story. But I saw something, you know, I had it in mind to teach about fact and opinion, But then when I was reading her book, I now saw something. I said, okay, let me teach it today. So why am I teaching fact and opinion? Because as a writer, you must know the difference between fact and opinion. If you take a statement, if you write something in your book that is supposed to be an opinion and you state it as a fact, you're going to have problems with people because people will read your book and they will trash it. They will argue with you and tell you that this thing you said here is not true. So let's look at fact and opinion. Let me show you how to identify fact and opinion. So I have a slide here. I'm going to share this slide with you. It's 6 pages, very short. Let me share. Now, if I'm writing a book and I say something like, everybody in Mexico likes women, or if I say every man in Mexico likes women, yeah, and I put that in my book, I do not have a proof that every man in Mexico likes women, but I wrote that in my book. That would be a mistake, a huge mistake. Why? Because I'm making a general statement without evidence. I do not have proof. Even if I met 100 Mexican men who like women, it is not enough for me to conclude that all Mexican men like women. That would be an error, to be a fallacy. Okay? So, what is fact and opinion? Can you see what I'm sharing? Can you see my screen that what I'm sharing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so distinguishing facts from opinions. When you are writing your book, if you want to write an opinion, let people know that this is your opinion and that it is not a fact. Then when something is a fact, state it as a fact. Now let's take an example before I explain. Let's go to page 2. So what is a fact? Facts are statements that can be proven. Facts can be true or false. And facts are not based on personal opinion. So if I say that all Mexican men like women, I don't have a proof for it. So that is not a fact. Now, it is just my opinion about Mexican men because I saw a few of them that they like women, and then I conclude. So that is not a fact. So a fact is a statement that can be proven. Now, look at examples. Lionel Messi is from Argentina. Is that true? Is Messi from Argentina? Yes.
Yeah.
So it is a fact because it is true that Messi is from Argentina. We said fact can be true or false, okay? So it is true that Messi is from Argentina. So if I write in my book that Messi is from Argentina, I would not have told a lie because it is true. So it is a fact. Now, Poland is a European country. Is that true? Yes. Poland is a European country, so it is a fact. If I say Cali is the capital of Colombia, now, is Cali the capital of Colombia? It is a false fact. I don't even know the capital of Colombia, but here they wrote that it is false, okay? So it is false. Now, let's say, what is an opinion? Opinions are statements that cannot be proven. Opinions can be argued. We can argue it because it is based on perspective. It is based on my perspective or your perspective. I can agree with you or disagree with you. So that is an opinion. Opinions may be supported with facts. Example, if I say football is boring, you can agree or disagree. If I say football is boring, it's based on my own perspective, my own experience, what I feel when I watch football. But to you, football might be exciting. So saying football is boring, I'm generalizing that football is boring. Okay? Now, but if I say football is boring to me, that is my own opinion about football. So it is an opinion. You can agree or disagree. Pizza is delicious. You can agree or disagree. So it is an opinion. Math is the hardest subject. It depends. It might be easy for you and it might be difficult for me. So it is an opinion. Okay? Good. Now, facts or opinion. How do you know something is a fact or an opinion? Something is a fact if it is true, if it can be proven, if it is something that is known. And when you are writing about fact, you use the word I know, not I think. I know, because it is a fact. I know for a fact. Then you use the word never. So if I say, for example, Africans will never invent anything. If I say Africans will never invent anything. Now, using the word never shows that maybe I have some fact or some proof to back up what I'm saying. But if I don't have anything to back up what I'm saying, I cannot use the word never. You only use the word never when you know that something that you are saying is a fact. And when you're writing your book, be careful of such words when you use words like never. If you say nobody in Africa will ever, nobody in Africa will ever invent anything. If you write such a thing in your book, you do not have a proof that nobody in Africa will ever invent anything. Maybe somebody has invented something in Africa. So you don't use such words, okay? You only use such words when something is a fact. For example, if I say that Joe Biden will never be 50 years again. Now, Joe Biden is around maybe 70 something years old, right? And I say Joe Biden will never be 50 years again. It is a fact. So I can use never, because he cannot come from 70 something years to 50 years. He's already past 50 years. So that is a fact, never. And then you use words like evidence. Evidence reveal that AstraZeneca vaccine does not cause blood clots, according to evidence. So that is a fact. When you're talking about evidence or fact, you use evidence. Then for opinion, you say words like I feel, or I think, or it seems. It seems that nobody in Nigeria, my internet is unstable. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's season.
Okay, what about
it? Yeah, sometimes we hear you, sometimes no.
Okay, sorry about that. So for opinions, you can say something like, it seems like nobody in Nigeria knew about homeschooling before the pandemic. It seems that nobody in Nigeria knew about homeschooling before the pandemic. Now, look at these two statements. If I write in my book that nobody in Nigeria knew about homeschooling before the pandemic, and if I write, it seems that nobody in Nigeria knew about homeschooling before the pandemic, which of these do you think is a better way to write that statement? One, nobody in Nigeria knew about homeschooling before the pandemic. Two, it seems that nobody in Nigeria knew about homeschooling before the pandemic. Which one is better?
So it seems.
It seems, yeah? It seems. Why? Because that statement is an opinion. So I use it seems. But if I say nobody in Nigeria knew about homeschooling before the pandemic, how did I arrive at that conclusion? Did I speak with the 200 million people in Nigeria to ask them if they knew about homeschooling? Of course, no, I didn't speak with all of them. Even if I spoke with 50 million people and none of them knew about homeschooling, I cannot conclude that nobody in Nigeria knew about homeschooling before the pandemic. Why? Because I only spoke to 50 million out of 200 million. So it is better to say it seems that nobody in Nigeria, or I think. So it seems, I think, you can use that to buttress opinion or to express opinion. So I believe that if Nigeria build a new university, the educational sector would be transformed. I believe, or I believe that if Nigeria builds a new refinery, we might solve our economic problems. So it's an opinion. There is no proof that if they build a refinery, it might solve the whole problem, because they might build that refinery and still not, solve the economic problem. You get? So that is how you differentiate between opinion and facts. Okay, let's do a little exercise here. So tell me, anyway, the answers are here, but let's just see. Today is Wednesday. That is a fact. Yeah. If imagine that today is Wednesday, I think today is Wednesday is a fact. It's not dependent on how I feel or how you feel. Wednesday is Wednesday. Okay. Chocolate ice cream is delicious. It's an opinion. It could be delicious to you, but it's not delicious to me. The class is from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Of course, it's a fact. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. It is a fact. There is an evidence to that. People in Colombia are friendly. It is an opinion. Dogs are domestic animals. It is a fact. Halloween is celebrated on October 31st. It is a fact. Okay. Rock and roll is the best kind of music. It is an opinion, of course. So I'm teaching this so that when you start writing your book, when you start writing your book, be careful of the statements that you make. Be sure if what you are saying is a fact or an opinion. Okay. So I cannot say in my book, for example, that everybody who went to Harvard University becomes successful. Everybody who attended Harvard becomes successful. No, I don't have an evidence to that. Even though Harvard is a good school, but I don't have an evidence that everyone who attended Harvard becomes successful. If I write something like that in my book, that is a fallacy. It is not correct. It's not true that everybody who went to Harvard, will become successful. So that is just for you to know how to write when you are writing. Be careful of your statements. Don't make general statements without proof or without evidence. And don't generalize. Don't make hasty conclusions. In philosophy class, philosophy and logic, we have what we call fallacy. Fallacy of hasty conclusion and fallacy of generalizing everybody, putting everybody in one box. Just because a few persons, for example, let's say I met a few Nigerians and they are very wicked people. That does not give me the right to conclude that all Nigerians are wicked. If I do that, I'm committing a fallacy. It is not a fact that all Nigerians are wicked. Okay, good. Yeah, so does anybody have a question? I know maybe you probably didn't hear me very well, but I hope that when we play the video, the recording, we would maybe have a better sound. Did you understand fact and opinion?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. So when you're writing your book, let facts be facts and let opinions be opinions. And state that this is your opinion, not a fact. Okay. Yeah, so I think that would be all for today. Next week, I'll teach another topic. We have only 3 classes remaining and we'll be done with this course. I'm highly impressed with Sister Chioma, how far she's gone with her book. She's sent me up to 3 chapters and I'm impressed with what I've read so far. And the rest of us, I want to encourage us to write a book. And if you are not currently writing a book now, I do hope that by the time you finish this course, you would start writing one. Yeah. So next lesson, I will teach maybe. I have the syllabus. I'll check it and tell you what I'll teach. So I'm going to post this video maybe tonight on the Google Classroom or tomorrow. I'll try and post it before I go to bed this night. Okay. So if there is no question, thank you everyone, and I will see you soon. Do have a good night or have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. How does work?
Yeah.